You'd know it if you looked at it, and we're pretty sure if we told you the address of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, that would also ring a bell. Of course, we're talking about the White House, home of the president, an iconic landmark of Washington, D.C., yet beyond that, there are probably some things you didn't know about this historic site. From ghosts and secret bunkers, to strange presidential pets and custom showers, these little-known tidbits might just have you seeing the presidential estate in a whole new light. As always, take a moment to hit the subscribe button before taking in the show. The Hoban House. It's strange to think that before 1800, the current home of the American president didn't exist. Tired of living like hobos, President George Washington and Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson started a design competition for architects to submit proposals for a new presidential home in 1792. Several designs were submitted, and even an anonymous entry is believed to have been the work of Jefferson himself. In the end, a modified design by Irish architect James Hoban was selected as the winner. However, since its completion in 1800, it's been burned down, rebuilt, and had substantial additions added. The first occupant. If you were paying close attention in school, then you knew George Washington was not the first occupant of the White House. Although he helped pick the design and influenced its overall look, the first family to call this building home was John and Abigail Adams. Somewhat surprisingly, it wasn't called the White House back then either, but the President's Palace or President's House. Its current name wasn't officially stamped in the history books until 1901, when Teddy Roosevelt started having White House put on the stationery. Honest Abe's ghost. Although he was assassinated in 1865, Abraham Lincoln has reportedly been seen around the White House on more than a couple occasions since then. In the 1920s, First Lady Grace Coolidge reported seeing Lincoln staring out of a window. During a visit to the US, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands opened her door after a knock and was greeted by the image of the dead president. British PM Winston Churchill even ran into the ghost completely naked following a bath. That apparently didn't scare Lincoln off though, because there have been more sightings since. Johnson's obsession. In addition to being rather outspoken at times, Lyndon Johnson was also known as the president who did some rather strange things. In addition to reportedly showing off his penis at rather random times, LBJ also had an obsession with the White House shower. So when he wasn't ordering a bombing of Vietnam, he was ordering plumbers to build a shower with intense pressure and nozzles to spray water both up his behind and directly at his package. Yeah, that really happened. Wedding venue. If you're married or planning a wedding, then you know that finding the right venue can be stressful and costly. Try checking out the White House. Okay, so you're not going to get a booking at the White House, but it doesn't mean that other weddings haven't happened there. In fact, several weddings have been held there over the years. Notable events at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue included the wedding of Grover Cleveland in 1886 and a televised wedding of Tricia Nixon in 1971. Secret bunkers. There have always been stories and rumors of secret underground bunkers and lairs, especially beneath the White House. But is it true? Yes, it may surprise you that under President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a bomb shelter was built deep underground in 1942. Furthermore, there is even reportedly access between the Treasury Building and the White House thanks to an underground tunnel. Naturally, this only fuels speculation that there's even more secrets hidden below the White House that have remained classified from the rest of us. What a zoo! If you watch the political coverage from the various cable outlets, then you know that at least once during every presidency, there is a fluff piece about the first family's pet. It's usually a dog, but the White House has been home to some rather interesting pets over the years. Under Teddy Roosevelt's tenure, Josiah the badger roamed the halls of the White House. Thomas Jefferson kept a couple of grizzly bears on the lawn for several months before he realized bears weren't the best pets. Not to be outdone, John Quincy Adams kept alligators in the bathtub. Yikes. Protection. Despite the news stories of individuals charging across the lawn of the White House, the president's home is one of the best defended areas in the world. Sure, there's the fence, concrete barriers, and swarms of Secret Service members, but the level of protection actually goes so much further. The airspace above the White House is restricted, and there are even reports that radar and missiles are located on the roof. All food arriving in is scanned, and infrared scanners ensure no one can hide on the property. Bulletproof windows and a high-filtered air system complete the protection to ensure the safety of the president. Pricey. Technically, the White House is a piece of real estate and does have some sort of monetary value. While it will never go up for sale to the public, many have speculated and tried to figure out the real-world value of this historic site. Built for $232,000 in the 1790s, that's roughly equivalent to $100 million today. That said, some think this is a bit on the low side. Some real estate experts have suggested a price as high as $250 million. If you include all the paintings and knickknacks in the deal, company Zillow has gone even further to suggest this off-the-market property is more in the range of $390 million. Well, with all the famous figures, ghosts, and alligators that have graced this historic location, we're kind of surprised it's still standing. Nonetheless, if you found this video interesting, why not check out our other offerings at The Richest, and be sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.